WWE Raw. And I got to tell you, man, that ending was pretty damn good. I like that. I like the fact that we got, a payoff finally on an angle. They didn't stretch it out like some other angles. Um, and I like the fact that it was fucking Cass all along. I really liked it. I liked the way it played out. The star of the segment to me, really, though, was Corey Graves and his delivery of everything. But that's not what we're here right off the bat to talk about. Because I have it on good authority here. Actually, I've been sent a piece of footage of my own tonight, folks. I've been sent a piece of footage of my own. And what is this piece of footage, you may ask? What is this piece of greatness that I have been sent? Well, I'm going to preface this by saying, we Jeff Edwards, Hollywood Jeff Edwards, has come out of retirement. He's on the movie sets. He took a little bit of a break, but now he's finally back. He's finally made his big return, folks. And I'm waiting on, let me see here. Waiting to see if it's premiere time yet. Let me see if it's premiere time yet here. Yep, I just been given the word it's premiere time. So we're going to go ahead and have our big Hollywood premiere right here. You are going to see it first right here on 1650 PWAM. Sit back. Relax. And enjoy the show as we have our latest Hollywood Truth production. And when this is over, Monday Night PWAM will start. What a picture. Oscar winner right there. All right. That right there, folks. Right off the bat, 1650 is proud to be the distributor of the Hollywood Truth production that you just saw. And remember, when you're casting your ballots at award season, remember Hollywood Jeff Edwards. Man, that was something. Oh, shit. Welcome to Monday Night PWAM, ladies and gentlemen. This is 1650 PWAM. That's 1650 PWAM, Pro Wrestling, and more. And we just gave you a little bit of and more right there. Woo! What a production, Edwards. I'm not going to give the backstory on how that came to be. I just told Edwards that if he did it, I'd put it first thing on the show. Oh man, this is so good. I don't even think AC. I told AC too. I was like, AC, we got to check and make sure the stream's working right. So you need to watch, and then we'll turn on the Skype. I don't know if he saw it or not. I can't tell who's exactly watching. But AC, if you're out there listening, please feel free to call in. Uh, shit. Oh man, what a good way to open the show tonight. Just the whole thing with McMahon and Maria at the end. Oh, it's one of those what they call them romantic comedies. That's a romantic comedy right there by Hollywood Jeff. We're here to talk about Raw tonight. The sensitive universe. The sensitive universe is at it again. Oh man. The sensitive universe is at it again. That's for sure. For sure. For sure. So I wanna go ahead and show you guys something here. It's an image, and it's a really good image. I want to go ahead and make this bigger. Actually, I don't know if I can or not. Let me see here. Come on, Joe, get this right. There it is. So this was tweeted out tonight by somebody, and I think this is marvelous here. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. If you can read it on your screens, that's awesome. Um, this right here says, "Someone who doesn't watch wrestling explain this," and it's Ambrose with two of the Bears in the background. And the reply was, "Looks like three friends having a really positive time. Teddy bear sleepover, but one guy forgot his costume. Hopefully he finds it." That's so good. Whoever wrote that, you deserve tons of credit for that. Oh man, just looks like three friends having a positive time, and they're having a teddy bear sleepover. Oh shit! I think AC fell asleep on us tonight because he hasn't called in yet. Let me try calling him here. Can I call AC? It says he's away. Might come through on his cell phone here. Anyway, we are going to talk about Raw tonight. Raw was actually, yeah, we're not getting in them. Raw was actually pretty darn good tonight compared to last week, which that's like comparing a nice chocolate cake to a pile of shit. But anyway, um, they put a good spin on the Joe Lesnar thing. They're obviously trying to go the MMA route. McGregor Mayweather was brung up a lot of times in this, which is amazing to me because you bring up McGregor a whole lot, but they really didn't mention Mayweather. And wasn't Mayweather at a WrestleMania of yours, 24, I believe it was? Didn't he have a match against the Big Show? Um, Come on, they didn't mention Mayweather's name really, not once this whole show. I'm sure AC on Twitter tonight was really flipping his shit, folks. Um, so Raw, I'm still waiting to see if AC may be like, "Fuck you guys, I ain't coming on." Don't be a Melvin, AC. Take it on the chin. Come on. I told Edwards. I think Edwards may have to do one with me and Trevor Lee next. That's the sequel. Anyway, this is 1650 PWAM. This is Monday Night PWAM. We are pro wrestling and more. I'm going to give AC a few more moments here, and then I guess we'll start in with Raw. Unless Edwards wants to go ahead and come on and save my ass here, because it looks like AC is down for the count. I've messaged him on Facebook, and I'm getting no answer. Um, but yeah, Raw was actually decent tonight. The sensitive universe is going to cry about the women's deal again. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Here's the thing. Let me see here. I'm trying to sit here and ponder in my head here as I'm talking to you guys of what I could say without really being, controversial and labeled as sexist and everything. Okay, so they only had one women's match. There's some people on the men's roster that don't get on the fucking card at all every week. Hell, they had Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel doing something tonight. The women's segment, I thought, was actually pretty good. What we got of the match was good. I think it's going to end up being like a fucking full-on Great Balls of Fire 8-woman challenge or whatever they got. Or either that or it's going to be like 4-on-4. I don't know. But I don't know where they're going with it. That's the problem I have with the whole segment, is you have no idea where they're going with it. I can't say much. A lot of people are messaging me here. I can't say much about AC and his love for the kingdom, because he posted some classic pictures on his Twitter today of him and Taven and Mike Bennett, and people like Joe Cronin, who is a famous wrestling YouTuber, liked the photo. So his love for the kingdom is not unwarranted. So anyway, getting back to this women's thing, I like the way that they did the. I really like the way that they did the women's segment, in that it put them on as that buffer. And again, if they had done the women's match last night between the two main events, that's what it would have looked like last night. So that they proved my point tonight. Total buffer, getting people cooled down to the final segment, which was phenomenal. But to me, I mean, you look at this Raw roster, and let's see who wasn't on the show tonight. I'll go to WWE.com and tell you. I'll go to WWE.com and tell you exactly who wasn't on the show tonight from the Raw roster. And to me, a booker's job is to really, get everybody on that show, give them decent storylines, and have it make sense to where everybody gets equal payday, everybody gets a chance. Now, I'm going to leave the cruiserweights off of this because they have their own show, but there were some on here. Tozawa on the show, Alexa Bliss on the show, Alicia Fox, I don't know if she was in that last segment or not. Apollo Crews on the show. Bailey on the show. Big Cass was on the show. Bo Dallas, Big Show on the show. Strowman, Wyatt, Lesnar, all on the show in one way or another. Cesaro, Corey Graves, Kurt Hawkins may be the only guy that wasn't on the show. Charlie Caruso was even on the show. Curtis Axel, Dean Ambrose on the show. Elias Sampson on the show. Enzo, Balor on the show. Goldust was on the show. Heath Slater was on the show because they did a vignette from last week, so it lets you know, hey, they're still there. Jeff Hardy on the show. Kalisto may have not been on the show. Don't know. Carl Anderson on the show. Gallows on the show. They list Mark Henry here, but Henry hasn't been seen in over a year, I think. Maurice, Matt Hardy, Mickey James, all on the show. Michael Cole, the announcer, on the show. Neville, on the show. Nia Jax, on the damn show. Paige is making her return soon. R-Truth, on the show. Rhino and Heath Slater, they were in a video package. They were reminding you, hey, they're still here. Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, phenomenal match, on the show. Sasha Banks is on this show. Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, both on the show. Seth Rollins, on the show. Sheamus, The Miz, Titus O'Neil, TJP, all on the show. So there you go. Well over 3/4 of the Raw roster was represented on this show tonight. And people are still bitching. I think they spread out the 3 hours really good. I thought that the matches were actually very good. So what if the women didn't get 50 fucking segments? Oh, wow. This is the first time in how long that they haven't really had 50 fucking segments per show? The men are there too, guys. Maybe we could have done, without the fucking Maybe we could have done without the cruiserweight match with TJP and Tozawa, but that match was entertaining as fuck. God damn, it's again the sensitive universe. Meh. Everybody's. I get by 2 hours into this show, 2.5 hours into this show, not even 2.5. I'll say. Hell, during the Roman Reigns Samoa Joe match, there were people on Twitter going, it's been, and they quote the times. What are you sitting there with a fucking stopwatch and a goddamn slide rule? Fuck. It's been an hour and 48 minutes and we haven't seen tits yet. That's what they're like. We haven't seen the women's matches yet. I'm sitting here patiently with my Sasha Banks cup and my Bailey t-shirt, and I just can't wait to see them. I couldn't wait to see them either. I love the women. But fuck, you think it upsets the entire women's division? The women's division is ruined if they don't have 3 matches on 3, 4, 5 segments, and if they don't give them exactly 15 minutes per segment. That's what you fucking sound like, you idiots. Fuck. Jesus Christ. That's what you sound like. If the women are not in 45% of the show, we're going to riot. These same people are people who are putting over New Japan. How many women's matches were on Dominion? How many women's matches does Ring of Honor generally have? I can't think of, many. They have that Women of Honor thing, which is like its own promotion, but they don't really feature it all that often. New Japan, I can't remember the last time I saw a women's match in New Japan. It's there, Joe. You just gotta subscribe to the New Japan World and find it. Again, it goes back to the fact that we will never have a Monday Night Raw where people are not bitching about something. Hell, hour 3 could be the all-women's division episode, hour. And people would still bitch. Oh, now you're flooding the market with the women. Or they'd be like, why do women get their own hour? That's sexist. They should be on there with the men too. I don't think AC's coming on, folks. But yeah, let's get into Raw here. I'll give my thoughts on it at least. Joe White doesn't. Joe White doesn't really sit in front of Monday Night Raw like he does with CWF with a pad and paper. Because CWF is actually just fucking, there's really not a bad thing on one of their shows. They don't have a sensitive universe like WWE does. Anyway, let's get into it here. Kicked off with, they're in Evansville, Indiana. Comes out, Roman Reigns is in the ring to make his announcement about SummerSlam. And again, 3/4 of the crowd's booing him. He says, get over yourself. Ask Bray why, he cannot be beaten one-on-one. He can't, your top star, the guy who you're pushing as the big dog, says he cannot be beaten one-on-one. More on this later. He says, ask Bray Wyatt. Ask Finn Balor. Finn Balor beat your ass to become the #1 contender for the Universal title. Duh. Just a year ago. Stupid. They don't want you to remember that. Ask Seth Rollins, he says. Ask Braun Strowman because he put him out of commission. Foreshadowing on a WWE show. Oh my God. People don't call out shit like that. People don't praise them for stuff actually telling a little bit of a damn story. Which that women's segment did, by the way. So basically, Joe comes out after Roman runs his mouth. Same boring promo from him. You know, we can't. The match was good, but the promo, sorry. It's my yard. I beat Undertaker. Nah, nah, nah. He didn't make nothing his own tonight, folks. So Samoa Joe comes out and he goes, couldn't help but notice that, Roman forgot his name because Roman goes, he referred to Joe as that guy named Joe. It's just a guy named Joe. He's just a regular Joe. And Joe goes, I am Samoa Joe. He said it with that island accent. And here's where it kind of fell off the rails for me. It fell off the rails with me in that, Samoa Joe kind of came off, Roman Reigns to me came off a little tad bit racist. And that he goes, oh Lord, here comes Edwards. Edwards, save me.
White, somebody's got to come on and save this
AC's
show.
not coming on, which means he probably missed his damn, his movie. His biopic.
I think he missed the world premiere. I can't believe what's happening with this world premiere right now.
I know, but hey, it was a good world premiere.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anyway, we're going over the first segment, and we're at the point where Roman Reigns comes out as a racist. We've had two things happen to two members of the Shield tonight. We'll get to the other one in a little bit, but
wait, how's Roman a racist?
Okay, if you're not from my bloodline, if you don't look like me and talk like me and come from my family's loins, you're not Samoan.
Oh, I'm not sure that's racist.
The master race.
Seeing as though they're both Samoan, I don't think that's racist. However, he could be just saying, I'm the real Samoan.
Jews were German. Hitler still stomped them out. He tried to, at least. Let me. Oh God! Before people go, Joe's anti-Semitic. I'm not. My uncle is Jewish. Okay, I have Jewish family members.
Did you say Jews were German?
They lived in Germany.
White.
Anyway.
That doesn't apply.
It doesn't
Never
apply.
mind.
And it
Continue.
doesn't apply. Anyway. But anyway. So what? We're not Americans, even though we're from America. I mean, come
White.
on.
You're mixing things up there.
I know. You're mixing religion with that, and it's apples and oranges. You're right.
Well, racism doesn't apply to religions, White.
Come on. Anyway.
It doesn't, White. I mean, racism applies to race.
Well, we got a little bit of anti-religion later in the show. But anyway.
And White, what are you going on about with these women, man? I caught you last night, or whatever night that was. You're on and on with the women.
Well, I mean, my thing is that the Twitterverse, man, has me really upset. I just think there's no pleasing them.
Well, White, I'll say this, because I heard you and AC. I thought AC did a decent job. I kind of agreed with him. But would it have killed the WWE to just not involve Ellsworth? Like I said to AC last night in a text message, which, by the way, I texted him to see where he is, and he no-sold it. So I don't know where he is tonight. But
he might have saw that and got pissed off.
He may have, but that's okay. Wait till my own video comes out about me.
Oh,
I'm just waiting for the proper booking with Nakamura.
I'm waiting on one with me and Trevor Lee.
Anyway, yeah. I think if I would have booked that, I would have had Ellsworth interfere early and have him tossed. Therefore, it gives you the clean ending that everybody wants.
If I was booking it, I wouldn't have had him out there at all.
Oh, there you go. That's even better.
But they did book it that way. It's classic WWE booking. If this sort of thing would have happened back in the 80s, nobody would be bitching. And I'm sick and tired of, well, it's the first time. It's supposed to be historical. These same people saying that, it's like, have you not fucking remembered that it's WWE and that shit doesn't matter to them? They don't care about that.
They've been pushing it, White. So, I mean, what are we doing? Why are we pushing it? Women's revolution. And then they book it to have the heel guy manager win the match.
Then there's people bitching tonight, okay? Yes, it's kind of warranted when, they fucking do a finish like that. It's not the most horrible thing, and for pro wrestling wise, it's kind of makes sense. To me, it does. You know, first ever Money in the Bank ladder match, Lita climbs up on behalf of Edge and fucking throws him down the briefcase, and Edge wins the same way. Would people bitch? No.
No, but there's not a men's tag team revolution going on at the same time, Joe. There's a women's revolution going on.
The revolution
Therefore,
is done past.
keep it to the women. It's simple.
The revolution's past. My whole theory on
But
this thing.
yeah, White. But the thing is, it's the first women's match, so therefore keep it women. It's not that hard.
Here's my thing though, and this is my whole point. With that, I agree with. Again, the finish kind of sucks. Okay, but they did it, and here's my reason as to why they did it, okay? This is Vince McMahon's way of thinking. I'll say it again. Vince is sitting there going, I've given you every fucking thing you wanted. They're not wrestling in their bras. They're not wrestling in their panties. They're not wrestling in gravy boats at Thanksgiving. They're not wrestling pudding. They're not wrestling pillow fight matches. They're having good quality wrestling matches. They're featured on 3 or 4 segments on Raw every freaking week. Sometimes 2, sometimes 1, like tonight. People are still bitching about that. But McMahon is starting to book the women the exact same fucking way he booked the men. This whole masculinity thing, it's a damn man doing a woman's job. Let me remind you of something here. They need to have Ellsworth come out there and go, that's right, I'm her man. I climbed up there and did this for her. And here is why. Have you ever seen the movie Chasing Amy?
Yeah.
Good movie. Damn good movie. Love it. One of my top 10 movies of all time. Yes.
Good. Yeah. Good.
Jason Lee, got a little Ben Affleck, Joey Lauren Adams. Beautiful movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kevin Smith did a movie a while back called An Evening with Kevin Smith. It's a Q&A where he just goes to college, did the college circuit. People would ask him questions about his movies. Had a very lovely young woman step up and question him about the line in the movie Chasing Amy where Jason Lee's character Banky goes, all any lesbian needs is one good deep dicking. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith's argument to that is we have the idiot character Banky say it. Therefore, it deflates the entire fucking argument. Case in point. WWE has the idiot character, Ellsworth, climb the ladder and do this. Has the idiot character go on Twitter and complain, say what a good job he did and everything. It negates your fucking point. It's fucking Ellsworth. Even AC last night said it. He's Carmella's bitch. I listened to Dave Meltzer and everybody else today. All the dirt sheets really didn't have a problem with the finish. Because why? Because it's Ellsworth that did it. It's fucking James Ellsworth.
But would it have killed them to not have him be involved in the first women's match?
First 50th, it doesn't fucking matter.
It does matter, Joe, because they've been pushing this woman's ideology for the past 2-3 years now. So the whole match was set up and booked for the point that it was the first women's match. So did they need Ellsworth to do that?
I think they pushed it like that to shut the fucking fans up, to shut the sensitive universe up.
So then he's alienating the female audience.
It's Vince
by doing it.
It's Vince for you.
Well, then we agree. That's exactly what he did.
But to me, it was a classic pro wrestling WWE manager finish. We talk about how there's no managers in wrestling. They actually give you one who actually helps out his charge, helps out his heel.
What did it do? What did it do, Joe?
Honestly, we'll have to find out tomorrow because I honestly think that now that they've seen the backlash of this, they're going to fucking redo the fucking match. Tomorrow night, you're going to get a Money in the Bank ladder match. Women, all of those women again. You're going to get it live, and you're going to have everybody that's not involved in the match banned from ringside, and they're going to fucking have anybody but Carmella do that. Or anybody but Carmella win the fucking match.
You're probably right about that. Do you think they saw that coming for a ratings boost? Yeah. Did they do that intentionally, I'm saying, for a rating?
I'm going to tell you right now, half of it's probably yes. Let's get the fucking universe fired up, pal.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's get them talking. And guess what? Sensitive universe, they got you fucking talking.
Mm-hmm.
Hook, line, sinker.
Now, to me, Joe, now don't get me wrong, because I don't really care. As soon as Alexa Bliss comes out on that, and I know it's the other show, but as soon as she comes out, dude, I have a hard on for that chick.
Mm.
So I'm looking at her ass and her legs. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck how good she can wrestle. I really don't. I don't. Because half of those girls that are on both shows shouldn't be on the shows because they're not stars, they don't look like stars, and they can't wrestle like stars. I'm sorry.
Nia Jax looks like a star, looks like a really good, jacked up woman, but she can't, her ring gear and her work sometimes negates it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Alicia Fox has been there for how long? Lord knows how long. She can't work.
A lot of, if you watch their matches, they are sloppy as hell, dude. They're sloppy as hell.
That's my main complaint. That's my main argument about this is that last night it fucking woke me up when Ellsworth started climbing the goddamn ladder. You want to know why? Because the fucking match up until that point was dog shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that, dude, that's not me being sexist.
For a first ever Money in the Bank ladder match, they damn sure didn't do a whole lot of spots with the fucking ladder. And they want to be just like the men are.
When I see slop in a ring, even if it's CWF in a tag match and everything just breaks down and it looks like slop, do I say it? Yes, I do.
We've said it before. I've said it.
It has nothing to do with them being women. It's just they're doing this on purpose.
The work is the same. A bump is a bump no matter whether you're male or female. A bump is a bump. You fall the same way. You tuck your chin, lay out your hands, and fall.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy, that Lana match Sunday night. There were a few.
Honestly, I didn't take as much offense to that match, or I liked that match a little bit because Lana was a hell of a lot better than I thought she was going to be. The only problem I really had with that match was her ring gear because she didn't leave. I even said to AC last night, thank God that woman shaves.
Now I'll say this, Joe, just to wrap this up and put a bow on it. If it was me, I would have booked it totally different. I just would have booked it clean because you're gonna alienate part of your audience.
And then you got.
But again, like you said the other night, I think it was last night. Troll job. Like Stutzy said, WWE Vince, he trolled a bunch of indie wrestling. He trolled the women's portion of the audience. He trolled everybody.
Did you see what my comment back to him was?
Like, I swear Vince gets off on trolling on the show. Like, it doesn't make sense. He kills his ratings just to laugh.
It's beginning to make me laugh. It's so fucking stupid that it's getting to be funny.
It's stupid.
And it's fun to sit there and look at Twitter fucking throw up at it. It's fun.
What was your reply to Stutzy?
My reply to Stutzy when he put that troll job, I was like, I put in big capital letters, super kick, ... dive. And guess what? That's the audience he trolled, and that's the audience that's bitching today. That's the audience that's bitching at Monday Night Raw. All these fucking people, all these internet marks, all these fucking we hate WWE marks, but yet they're sitting there watching just like me every week. So they can't hate it but so much.
Yep.
Because Raw tonight was actually pretty damn decent. Got to give him credit. Tonight's Raw was good.
Let me ask you something, because as soon as Raw ended, I made myself a coffee like I do. Mm-hmm. And then I turned on your live feed here.
Thank you.
I didn't want to miss the world premiere. I mean, But anyway, did you see the end of Raw up until it went off the air?
Yeah.
Okay. Tremendous.
Dude. Corey Graves deserves an Oscar for that because
Corey Graves was awesome.
Corey Graves was the best part of the segment.
Man, Big Cass I thought was great.
Yeah,
Enzo actually forced a tear out of his eye.
2 tears, and then he instantly stopped. I'm like, no, keep crying.
Yes.
But then again, I'm sitting there going, God, Cass looks like a bitch.
Enzo, you mean?
Or Enzo. Enzo looks like a bitch. But my women, I'm going to go back to the women's thing, and then we'll start over again. We'll talk about the Joe Roman Roman thing. We'll get into it. People are bitching. I looked on Twitter tonight, and here it is at the end of the Roman Joe match. Mm-hmm. So it's the thing that headlined the 9 o'clock hour, started the 9 o'clock hour. As soon as that match is over with, and then they went to something else, everybody on Twitter, are we not going to get a women's match tonight? People are literally sitting there going, it's an hour and 45 minutes in, and we ain't got our women's match yet.
You know what that is, Joe? And I hate to say it, but people are so programmed, and it's exactly what we were talking about. Change the recipe,
can you
change the
imagine?
formula.
Yeah.
They're so programmed. If they don't see the women by 20 after 8, then
No.
oh my God, something's wrong.
No, it's not only that. Can you imagine if there was no women's match at all? I'm sitting here hoping. Honestly, tonight, again, I love women's wrestling. I'm a huge fan. I'm glad that they're doing this tournament. I love women's wrestling. That damn feud that they have going in NXT right now between Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Nikki Cross, I've been loving it for the last few months. And it keeps going. And I'm like, I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of those combinations of those three. But,
well, here's a non-sexist comment for you, Joe. The last thing that I enjoyed on NXT was, of course, the Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky matches.
Yeah.
Totally marked out for them. I of course, you're going to look at an ass when it's covering another ass, right? You're going to look at that as a man, right?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the wrestling matches for wrestling matches. But here, in all fairness, once they come up to the top, just like the guys from NXT come up to the top, problems start happening.
But I think,
so I'm at a point right now with women's wrestling where I just don't care. And I don't care about the cruiserweights either. It's just...
Even though they had a damn good match tonight. Tozawa and TJP tore the fucking house down tonight. Titus O'Neil was actually good in his role tonight.
It was a good match, and there was a point involved.
Yeah.
That's what they need to start doing.
Storytelling.
Yes.
But when I'm sitting here and looking at the sensitive universe with their slide rules out going, they have only 11 minutes and 54 seconds on the throw, and that means they got to get the ring entrances, and that means that the Sasa and Naya are only going to go 5 minutes, and that's too short.
I know.
Honestly, I'm sitting there going, who cares if they don't have a women's match tonight? And I'm sitting there going, these are the same people who sit there and want WWE to be just like New Japan and just like Ring of Honor and just like fucking every other indie on the damn planet. Jeff, you're a New Japan fan.
Yeah.
When's the last time they had a women's match on New Japan television or on a pay-per-view?
They don't have women's wrestling.
There you go. What about Ring of Honor?
Yeah, Women of Honor, but what really is that?
Not the same.
Right.
So coming up this Wednesday, you get a match with Sis involved on CWF, which is their only woman on their main hardcore roster.
Well, Stutzy's a sexist. That's what that means.
Well, what woman is she fighting this Wednesday?
Oh, she's fighting the biggest bitch known to man.
Exactly. Right. She's fighting Sharpie, you know? But have I proved my point here? It's getting out of control. The women's revolution is getting out of control. They've taken a damn good thing, and once Vince, my opinion is, Vince booked that Money in the Bank ladder match the same way as if he would have booked a women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm sorry. His way of thinking, that's it.
I'm still going to stand by the fact that they didn't have to book it that way.
They didn't.
But
I know they didn't, and I agree with you.
But to your point, Joe, to your point, ask the gorgeous ladies of wrestling if women's wrestling draws.
You're right.
Where are they now?
But get this. Was it serious women's wrestling? No.
Well, does Shimmer have a TV contract?
No.
No.
They sell DVDs.
Right.
Glow, while I enjoyed Glow and grew up on Glow, in hindsight, looking at it from a today's standard, they did a lot of fucking comedy.
Yeah, they did.
A lot of comedy. That shit wouldn't fly today. Oh my God, they're ruining the women. The women. Oh my God, they're not giving them. I got my slide rule out, Edwards, and they're only giving them 3 minutes a match, and they're wearing bathing suits in the ring. Oh my God, they won't even let them wear ring gear. That's so sexist.
Well, Joe, here's where I'm going to agree with you. Imagine if these people in 2017 had Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara booking WWE. Could you imagine if these kids lived during the Attitude Era at the same age that they're at now?
Oh, man.
Could you imagine?
What is this with them putting them in a pudding match?
Why is Sable wearing next to nothing?
Why has Sable got handprints on her tits? Why is Jackie going over to the UK on a UK pay-per-view and doing quote-unquote accidental nudity?
It's so bizarre, man. It is so bizarre. And quite
Sensitive,
honestly, people
sensitive
out there,
universe. Sensitive
people,
universe.
yeah, I
I'm
know
right.
things are sensitive and you're going to melt like a snowflake. I understand that. But listen, in the real world, there are women walking around with big breasts like Sable. It's reality, people.
Hell yeah.
I mean, come on. And back then, the target audience for professional wrestling was men 18 to 49. So what
Fuck.
do you think they want to see? Do people want to see Sable wrestling in a scripted fight? No, they want to see what she's
I mean,
got.
you're a married man. I,
Yes.
I might as well be married. Been with the same woman here, living with her for going on almost 6 years.
Yeah.
I still look at her every morning and go, God damn, your tits look beautiful. God damn, I love your ass. I'll grab. First thing she does if she's got to be away from home and she comes home from work, the first thing I do is give her a big kiss and just grab her ass. You know,
Mm-hmm.
come on,
It
CO
is what it is,
party.
and that's what people like. They want to make this topic black and white. I can grab my wife's ass. I can comment on her ass as she's walking by. When she has a shitty day at work and she comes in, I say, "Tell me about your shitty day at work." It's gray. It's not black and white. So stop acting out there on Twitter like everything's black and white. I could watch Alexa Bliss and I can respect her, and I can also comment that she has a fine ass. What does that make me? It makes me a man.
I'll be honest with
That's
you.
it.
I work a job right now with one of the most popular hotel chains on the planet. My girlfriend, I'll look at her every morning and go, God damn, you're beautiful. And squeeze her ass and everything like that. But get this, she makes more money than I do. She's got a fucking diploma hanging on the wall that I'll never fucking have one of those. I never went to college. She's 10 times fucking smarter than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But if am I sexist just because I like to fucking tell her, God damn, you have big boobs and I love them? Come on.
Well, Joe, you have to understand things are so, violent out there on Twitter with these,
Oh.
Younger people. It's like for you to tell your wife she's beautiful makes you a sexist. Like, I'm serious. That's how bad it is right
For me
now.
to sit there and say there shouldn't have been a women's match on Raw tonight because I look at it this way. If they couldn't give them, they had a really good show. I just went through before you came in. I went through the entire Raw roster, not including the cruiserweights because they have their own fucking show. But that's a whole new topic. It's an entirely different topic. But not including the cruiserweights. I think I counted 2 people. That was Kurt Hawkins and Mark Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2 people on that Raw roster that were not on this show. As a booker, your job is to put everybody that's on your roster on that show. And guess what? They did it.
That's what you're supposed to do, people.
But, and people are going to be like, well, they got 3 hours. They could have not done the Miz segment. That Miz segment was entertaining as fuck. And it served a purpose. But me, personally, I would have liked to see a couple of the men's matches go longer tonight, and if I was booking it, I'd scrub the fucking women all together because when it gets to be 11:30 or 10:30, and the Twitterverse is sitting there with their slide rules going, they got 5 minutes left, and they still got to do the end zone casting. Oh, the women aren't getting treated right.
Yeah.
Just scrub them and give them a better segment next week. Give them more time next week. Hell, give them 2 segments.
I said long ago, Joe, long time ago, on a show with AC, they should have just did a women's show on the network.
Yeah.
And if you want your women's wrestling, you already own the network. Everybody has the network. So if you want your women's wrestling, go watch the the 1 hour, 2 hour women's show. That's exactly what I would do. Maybe you pluck up, 2 or 4 women and keep them on your roster, but the rest of them have their own show.
Hell, people forget. The idea for SmackDown back in 1999, when the idea was first kicked around, was to do an all-women's wrestling show, like Glow.
Okay.
But they ended up doing SmackDown instead.
It's because women's wrestling doesn't draw. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
It never has. That's the thing, man.
Well, like you said, back in Glow with the comedy, they knew they had to do something entertaining as opposed to just putting on wrestling matches.
Yeah. And
because no one would watch it.
And half those women were trained by, I want to say, Hector Guerrero, and they still couldn't work, half of them. Hell, go back and watch that documentary on Netflix. There's a
You have
really
to watch
good
that yet.
there's a really good documentary on Glow on the Netflix, and they even got a TV show based around Glow. It's not a wrestling show, but it is a woman who's going through that in the mid
Right.
'80s or late '80s. It's going to be awesome.
Right.
I can't wait for it to drop
Yeah,
this month.
I'm definitely watching that, even
Um,
though I'm a sexist.
I believe the woman who does Orange is the New Black is a producer or executive producer.
Ah, okay.
So anyway, the Samoa Joe thing. The reason why it's like, come on, dude. If you're not Samoan, if you're not part of the master race, you're not Samoan.
It's not the master race. It's the family, Joe. You always say the family.
They're family,
It's the
pal.
family.
It's not you're not Samoan. It's like, dude, is everybody sitting down in the Isle of Samoa your family? Is that how it is? But they're not Samoan if they're not a part of your family. That makes no sense, and it made Roman come off as a complete heel. To me.
Oh, with that, I agree, Joe. I mean, he does come off as a heel.
But I like the segment with Joe, getting the headbutt in, Reigns going to the floor, and Joe punches and sends Roman into the barrier a few times. It was a good segment, and I liked it. It was a good way to kick off Raw. And get this, for once, they didn't have the match directly after the segment.
Yes. How about that?
They made you wait an hour for it. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We got Matt and Jeff Hardy versus Gallows and Anderson. We don't need to tell you which way that went. Because
Nope.
guess what? Gallows and Anderson lost again. That's my only, that's my only thing about this. Is I could have killed you to put them over once.
Yeah, I know.
For fuck's sake, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel were more over than Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson here.
They're enhancement talent, Joe.
They are.
It is what it is.
It's your Bullet Club right there.
That's my club, baby. Too sweet me. Get your asses back to Japan in a year.
Pin me and pay me is what their new shirts would say.
Mm-hmm. But again, I'm sure they don't care. They're getting paid, so
They're
whatever.
getting paid, and he's got one of them still got Amber O'Neal, and the other one's got his hot Asian wife. Who cares?
There you go. Life is good.
Yes, and we're back with with Edwards. You almost got upstage tonight.
How?
Gold Dust tonight. Shattered Dreams production, man.
Oh, I know. And he's even using the truth word because of our truth. And
Yeah,
talk about gimmick infringement right there, man.
I liked it. I like 1996, 1998 Gold Dust.
Where's the wig, though?
That's what in the robe.
Yeah, the wig and the robe. Or
Maybe
is that going to piss people off if he wears because he, transgender and cross-dressing?
There was somebody on Twitter. I believe it was Brad. Brad Stutz put, can you imagine if they do a Piper Gold Dust gimmick with Roman Reigns where he comes out with Roman's symbol painted on his chest and shit?
Oh, it'd be great.
And
yes.
I told him, I was like, the sad part is we live in 2017, and in that scenario, Gold Dust is the babyface.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
You're going to have rainbow flags everywhere for with Gold Dust's picture on it. I mean, Gold Dust, and not that that's a bad thing, but it's 2017. Again, the way of the world, Gold Dust is a babyface in that scenario. He told Truth, you'll laugh, you'll cry, but you'll never forget the name of Gold Dust. Anyway, Elias Sampson is in the ring, and he says I thought you would appreciate this, being the musician that you are. He says he has to tune his guitar, so he starts tuning the guitar, and the crowd starts fucking screaming, and he's like, I can't tune my guitar, basically, with you all talking. I need to hear the sound. And even his nameplate is like the fretboard of a guitar with Elias Sampson written across it. It was
great.
Beautiful.
Yep, it's great. I can sit here all night. He goes.
Here's what I don't like.
Okay.
The announcers flip-flopping.
Yes.
Because you have Corey Graves, who's kind of a heel. He hated Enzo and Cass. And that was the one thing missing from his promo. We'll get to that at the end. But he hates Enzo and Cass, but likes hates Elias Sampson too.
Right.
Booker T likes the baby faces, but hates Elias Sampson. It just makes no sense. You know what I mean? Maybe I said that wrong, but you get what I mean.
I get exactly what you mean.
So Finn Balor comes out. This kind
Pop that collar.
This kind of pissed me off here. Because I'm a Chip Day fan. And they referred to him as James Dean tonight. There's only one James Dean of wrestling, and that's Chip Day. But they alluded to the collar popping, which is what James Dean would do. And I was like, oh, this is gonna piss AC off. Oh, this is gonna make him mad because they were like, he's James Dean, good looking, and John Wayne tough. And I was like, that's actually a good description of Balor. So I liked it, and that was a good. Again, Corey Graves coming up with those one-liners, man. And so he comes out, has a standoff, and Elias Sampson, as the true heel, leaves. He leaves his stage and gives it to Finn. I'm liking Elias Sampson a lot more here than I did in NXT. Tell you the truth, I can see Vince doing good things with Sampson. He's the type of guy where he'd want to push him. Finn Balor versus Bo Dallas was next, and my God, Bo Dallas showed me a lot here.
Yep, I agree.
He first got noticed last week in the big pull apart between Joe and Brock. Everybody was like, who's that dude with the long hair and the beard? And we were like, that's Bo Dallas. And everybody's like, that's fucking Bo Dallas? When Bo Dallas came out tonight, my stepson and my son both run in the room, and they both asked me, who is that? And I was like, that's Bo Dallas. And they were like, that's Bo Dallas? They were shocked in a good way. They couldn't believe it. And Bo Dallas got a lot of good stuff in. They kind of teased the demon character here a little bit. If you didn't notice that.
What, his arm?
Not his arm, but the way Balor has a mean streak. He's he totally snapped during this match, and after Bo Dallas got his shit in, kind of. The story of the match was Bo Dallas kind of got a one-up on Balor until Balor had to flip that switch inside of his head and kind of become the demon to get over, pretty much. It's subtlety like that people don't notice. That's the thing.
I just don't. I'm not sold on them even gonna do the demon anymore. To be honest, I'm not sold on it yet.
But Balor got over. Did his 5 moves of doom, which a lot of people, in John Cena's defense, oh my God, Joe's defending John Cena. I've noticed it with Balor, all his matches end the same.
Well, Ambrose does the same shit too. He's got 5 moves to doom also.
Sling blade, kick in the corner, coup de grace.
Yeah.
Come on. Corey Graves gets up from the announce table because he's heard something on his headset. And he goes to the back. I still think there's more to this besides the Enzo and Cass thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we see the trailer, which we have our reaction video for on 1650 right here on the channel. Be sure to go watch that after we're done tonight. Hadn't gotten copyrighted.
Good.
So, actually that, let me see here. Trying to see if it's been copyrighted yet. Nope, 155 views, no copyright. Yay, if only I'd done that for New Japan. I still think it would have gotten axed.
Probably.
Did you see the trailer yet?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think it should have been Kane Justice under the mask.
Oh! Well, Kane Justice, good. I mean, it's a good thing you said that. Kane Justice. I want to say longest running RGL champ. I mean, he's defended the titles the most time. I don't know if he's the longest reigning. But he definitely holds the record now for most title defenses. He's going to be on the CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show, the unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show, this Wednesday night. He'll be joining us. I think we're going to review the episode with him. I don't know if he will have watched the episode. Maybe I ought to send him a thing saying, hey, dude, can you kind of watch the episode so you can review it with us? Or, and then we're going to have a little bit of an interview with him. And word is AC, and if AC bothers to join us that night, him and Kane Justice are going to have a little bit of a talk. So.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Probably find that out.
I look at it this way: even if AC does decide to no-show, it's going to be a good interview. So tune in Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's Wednesday night at about 10:30-ish. Whenever I get off work and whenever the episode ends. But anyway, we're back here. After the, we're back, and Michael asks Booker what happened in the women's ladder match, and they discuss what people are saying about how Daniel Bryan should handle it, and so that's the big thing. And maybe, yes, they use this as a way for Daniel to cue Daniel Bryan's return and to hype up Daniel Bryan's return. I don't have a problem with that either.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, he's coming back, so
Yeah.
give him a reason to
Give
come
him a
back,
reason
right?
to come back guns a-blazing. And this is
Yes.
it.
Yep.
Again, people fly off the fucking handle before they even make sense to anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, so Daniel Bryan, they're teasing it like Daniel Bryan's going to come out and set the world straight again, you know? Kurt Angle's on the phone. He's interrupted by Graves. Corey says it's too bad Kurt did not have a good Father's Day, and he got the same text on Father's Day. I'm like, okay. And then Enzo and Cass show up. And
I think somebody's blackmailing Kurt is what's going to happen here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's Graves?
It might be.
Because I could.
Now, I don't know how, but
I could see Graves doing a heel turn because he's so good on the microphone and he's such a good actor or worker, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
That I could totally see him forcing Kurt Angle out of his GM spot, and your new general manager is Corey Graves.
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind it in the slightest. So, basically, Enzo and Cass are there, and they want to know who did this. Kurt Angle says, yeah, we're going to find out who did this tonight. Enzo says it's the Revival. Colin Cassidy says it's the Big Show. Kurt says we'll know by the end of the night, and the big thing is Kurt Angle's going to crack the case.
Crack the case.
Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring, talks about how it's an awesome day because he's on the cover of the video game. They're doing something crazy with this game. And I don't think I've ever seen a video game do this before. It's not going to cause me to, want to go out and plunk $100 down for it because that's how much they're going to charge. But if you pre-order the game, not only are you going to get probably Kurt Angle as a downloadable character and you'll get your damn season pass and all the usual DLC, but the game comes out on the 17th of October, I believe. Yeah, the 17th of October, Tuesday. If you pre-order that deluxe edition, they will give you the game 4 days early. I've never heard of a game doing that before.
Well, you know why? Because it's wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Vince knows they can't wait. You just said that, Joe.
Yeah.
They can't wait for the story to play out. So, yeah.
But, I mean, you won't see Madden's got a story mode this year. They're not going to do that with Madden.
No. It's definitely a cool marketing, good marketing idea.
It's in an era where people are like, fuck it, I'm not pre-ordering games. I don't care if they do give me the free character. I'm not pre-ordering. I'm not driving up GameStop's numbers for that. Because the thing is with pre-ordering is they think, oh, we're going to pre-order the game and then the game's going to be shit,
Right, yeah.
But if you pre-order, instead of waiting till the 17th, you'll be able to go to GameStop on Friday the 13th in October. How chilling is that? In October, we have a Friday the 13th.
Scary.
There's a brand new Friday the 13th game out. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that, do something with that game on that date. But anyway. And instead of being able to pick it up on the 17th, if you pre-order the deluxe edition, you'll be able to go on the 13th and buy your game 4 days early. It's not a bad way to get people to pre-order a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it because that deluxe edition is probably going to be, instead of $60, it's probably going to be about $80 or $100. And to me, no game is worth $100. So,
right.
But Bray Wyatt interrupts. I like this segment just because the ending. You had the usual Bray Wyatt promo, and Bray actually is going to come down to the ring, and you think he's about to get in the ring and we're going to have a brawl, but nope. Rollins comes flying off the top rope. He busts. So I believe what happened was, because they were both busted open, Wyatt had a bloody bottom lip, and Rollins had a cut under his left eye. So I don't know how, maybe it had been the way they collided or whoever landed or whatever, but both of them got busted open. And guess what? This is one of those few times where the blood actually made the segment better.
It's just Seth Rollins, man. He just can't not hurt himself. I mean, initially I thought
Rollins.
Yeah, I love it. Fragile Rollins. No, I think does he have something on his hat, Bray? Like, is there a piece of metal on it or something? Because that's the only thing I could think of.
Feather or something in it. He wears like a fedora.
Yeah.
Which, if you heard the show last night, one of the women of the Sensitive Universe on Twitter said that I earned a fedora last night, whatever that means. Apparently, I look good in a fedora. I like fedoras. Nothing wrong with a good fedora. Anyway.
Maybe she just hands out fedoras.
Yeah, she just hands out fedoras. That's her job.
That's what she do.
whatever that means. So it was a good segment.
Where's AC, man? Come on. He was tweeting us. I think maybe he saw the video and got a little
peeved.
sad.
Sad.
No, sad.
Sad, man. He's like,
I think I tug on the heartstrings. That's what a good filmmaker does.
It's a good romantic comedy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're supposed to have a little laugh, but at the end of the day, you know, Bridget Jones's Diary when Colin Firth and Renee Zellweger, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
They come together and I just went to go buy you a new diary, and they both hug. It's a crying moment.
There you go. Tender moment.
That's right. You know, so it worked. Hashtag Jeff for Oscar. Anyway.
Thank you.
Hashtag nominate Edwards.
Nominate Edwards. I love it.
So we basically, after this segment, Corey stands up for Kurt Angle as general manager. We go to the interview area where Finn Balor is asked about his win, and it's, you know, I'm going to be Universal Champion. Finn says that he's faced Joe enough times, and blah 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 blah. It didn't really contribute anything. Elias Sampson then attacks Finn Balor from behind, and he tells Bray never to upstage him again. It was good.
That was great, yes.
And then Devon Dudley comes in to check on Balor. Akira Tozawa versus TJP. They are now officially dropping the Perkins from his name. He's now TJP.
Oh, who cares?
And I tell you why they do it. You know how much it costs to put Perkins on a T-shirt as opposed to just 3 letters?
Oh, yeah.
It's business, motherfuckers. Come on. It's the same way why every cartoon character has 4 or less hands. You know how much fucking money it costs for an animator to draw 2 thumbs? Or that extra
lot
finger?
More than 8 fingers.
Exactly. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, I liked the match between TJP and Tozawa. I really liked it a lot. I liked even Titus O'Neil outside fucking playing cheerleader. Playing the manager. We have managers. Oh my God. You know, so, and at the end, Tozawa got the win. I liked it. I'll be honest with you. I only saw the last half of the match because I was, you know, my just shows you how much of a Joe's a sexist. He didn't get out his slide ruler for the women tonight, but his beautiful girlfriend cooked him dinner, and Joe did the dishes because that's how it's supposed to work. But no, Joe's a sexist. Anyway.
Well, dishes are a lot easier to do than a meal, so you are sexist.
Oh man, dude, it was cube steak with mashed potatoes and gravy. It was so good.
You said, "Cook for me, bitch, right now."
I was actually supposed to cook, and then I flipped it around. I was like, if you cook tonight, I'll cook tomorrow night and Sunday night. And when you get home from church, you'll have a nice, you know, we call it lupper. It's the meal between. It's like big enough to where it could be lunch and supper at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you get home from church on Sunday, because Joe don't go to church, there'll be a nice hot meal on the table for you. We'll have Sunday supper, you know. And I'm going to stick to my promise because I'm not a sexist. Anyway, did you see the Tozawa TJP match at all?
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I don't really care about these cruiserweights. I'm sorry. I know. I'm glad they're doing something with Titus. I hope, you know, he builds up a whole posse, family, but I just don't really care about them, Joe. There's no... I don't know what it is. It's just, it bores me to tears.
Let me see. We go to the back with R-Truth, and he accepts...
Like, Joe, did you hear me recently on a show compare the WWE to a childlike version of the UFC?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what this is what I mean by that. Okay, so you have these cruiserweights. They're gimmicked. Do they have character? I don't know. The King, you know, he speaks in King speech, right? So I guess he's in a character. But why is he going to come out to be interested in Tozawa just because Tozawa said, I can beat you, or I'm going to be the next champ, or whatever? Like that, it always goes back to that's the reason they're fighting. Right? So if you call yourself an entertainment company and you're doing that shit, to me, you're just basically throwing guys out there and pretending it's like MMA, because it's like that's what happens in MMA.
Yeah. Oh God.
You know what I mean? Like put some time into these guys if you're gonna have them on TV, because I don't really care.
I think
Why should I care?
you talked about MMA here, and you're right. Why should we care about this? I honestly though, to me it was like, okay, I really don't give a fuck about the cruiserweights, but they're going to throw them out there anyway, and there's a decent little match. And the main thing about the 205 Live is that they're putting on decent matches, but they're not letting them live up to their full potential. Instead, they're trying to pull a Goldberg 2003 with them and give them a character. They're not there to be characters. They're there to do flips and fucking dives and make people go ooh and ah.
Well, that's the thing, Joe. That's the thing. Because if you're going to have the cruiserweights, like back in the Attitude Era, their main job, especially on Nitro, the show opened up and they had a flip floppy and fly match, and that was it.
Flippity floppity flippity floo.
Flippity floppity flu. And that was it, right?
And it worked.
So, yeah, and it worked. So if you're going to have these characters, like, for example, this is what I would have done. Armchair booking. All right, here you go. Titus O'Neil wants Tozawa in his brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you have Titus O'Neil prove to Tozawa that he can get him the title shot? Run with that for a night. Let him be up Kurt Angle's ass and up Neville's ass and get him the shot.
Yeah.
Then he can go back to Tozawa and say, brother, I got you the shot. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Come with me now. I don't know. That's storytelling to me. But
I mean, here we have a guy in Paul Heyman, who apparently is an advocate and can make shit actually happen. But here we have Titus, and he's kind of an advocate in the same role. He's got this Titus brand thing.
Right.
And they book him like he can't do nothing.
Right.
But this wouldn't be the only time we saw Titus at the end of the night. After the match, Titus announces that he and Apollo Crews will face the tag team champions tonight. Titus says after he signs with the Titus brand, Titus says that after Tozawa signs with the Titus brand, he will be the next Cruiserweight champion. So they kind of went that direction tonight, but to me, by now, it's too little too late, you know?
Right.
Neville gets up on the announce table, and of course he calls Titus a peasant, and he's the king of the Cruiserweights, and...
bend the knee. I like the bend the knee line.
Bend the knee to the king of the Cruiserweights.
Very Game of Thrones.
Yes, we go to commercial. R-Truth accepts Goldust's invitation next week.
He needs to change his name.
Oh, yeah, he does.
This whole Truth thing is just pissing me off.
Why can't he be Ron Killings?
Not only that, Joe, but speaking of characters and storytelling, I get if he's making fun of Goldust because Goldust is making the films.
Mm-hmm.
But why are they letting him make films? That's not his character.
No, it's not.
He should be Goldust should be making films, and R-Truth should be doing rap songs, because that's his character.
He should be doing music movies,
music videos
yeah.
to his rap songs about Goldust.
Yeah, and he says he accepts it because next week Raw is in L.A., so this is the big thing. It's in the City of Angels. We're going to finally get the clash between R-Truth and Goldust, and I think next week maybe you'll see Goldust come out with the robe and the damn... thing. I believe it could still get over in 2017.
I hope so.
I believe they got enough fucking angst to sit there and go, did you not see this shit back in the day? When people were calling Goldust the F word and they had to sit there and, they had to kind of defend themselves. And I forget what the exact word for Goldust was, but I mean, it was good,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I don't know. Again, it's wrestling. It's the wrestling community. So you think it's a small percentage of the audience that's just making noise about all this crap? Or do you think it's like an entire generation of people?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's millennials. It's the millennial audience. But then again, Brad Stutz isn't a millennial. And he's on there, doing saying, McMahon's trolling everybody, with it.
Is he that young?
I think he's around. He's not, but probably about a year or two older than me. Would you think he was older?
Well, if you're talking there's a fine line between Gen X and millennial.
Yeah, to me, I'm not a millennial. I call my fucking kids millennials, ungrateful millennials all the damn time. I was born in 85. I'm right on that line, if you ask me.
Right.
I still remember a world without the internet, so therefore I'm not a millennial.
There you go. What else was on this show?
So we had Bo Dallas, and is checked on by Curtis, and he tells Bo Bo leaves, and Miz interrupts him. and goes, on the Marine 4, you guys were awesome on the set. You didn't act like this. What's wrong with you? You know what needs to happen? You two, just like on the movie set, need to be my entourage. And I loved this segment.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. They did a backstage interview with Samoa Joe. Usual yuckity yuck from him, saying he's going to beat Roman. But here's the thing about this segment that totally deflated the first segment. Roman comes out and goes, nobody can beat me one-on-one, even though we know Balor can, and Balor pretty much had your fucking number again in that six-pack challenge, but that's not one-on-one. But Balor has beaten Roman one-on-one. I believe it was this time last year on the road to SummerSlam when they were doing the brand split. Balor beat Roman.
All right, we know you hate Roman. Keep going.
But no, here's what kills me. This is where WWE shot themselves in the foot. Nobody could beat me one-on-one. And then they show footage from 8 months ago when Samoa Joe made his debut and had his debut match on Raw. What did he do? He pinned Roman clean in the ring, 1, 2, 3.
Well, character protection, White. They're not protecting Roman. That's some asshole writing for Roman and telling him what to say, and then split second later, they're showing footage of him getting beat.
Yeah. But then they have the announcers, but it's not. I don't think it's split second writing, because then they even have the announcers go,
no,
Roman
it's not.
said
It's
nobody
not split
can
second.
have a one-on-one, but look at this,
It's not split second writing. It's split second. They're showing you on the TV. Well, he did lose. Well, they're not. You're not protecting Roman Reigns that way.
But he's the big dog. He doesn't need protection.
And again, that's probably what Vince thinks. Oh, okay, this guy's bulletproof, pal.
He's the new John Cena. Cena can come out there and kill puppies and still be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn, pal. So Joe comes out there, and these two go at it. And they have a hell of a match, guys.
I thought it was a great match.
It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Samoa Joe had to have earned Roman's respect after this, if you're going character, kayfabe-wise. But I know a lot of people are going to be like, but they had a schmoz finish. I don't care. I liked it. I liked the finish. And, you hear beep, 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 but I'm sitting there going, is a fire alarm going off? And then I'm like, no, it's a car backing up. And I thought it was happening outside my house.
So did I.
Because I live near a fire department. I live right down the
So
road
do
from
I.
a fire
So do I,
department.
Joe. I live like 20 feet from a fire department.
And I'm sitting, I literally live less than a mile away. And I thought it was a fire truck outside because I have a stoplight outside my house. And all the time I'm hearing fire trucks and shit go by. And then they do the cutaway to the Titantron. Nope, it's an ambulance. And who gets out of the back of it but Mr. I'm not finished with you.
Yep.
It was it was so good.
I like the finish because it did let me think, 3 things, I think. Okay, so Joe obviously went over with the clutch. That's good. He had to. It kind of protects Roman because he was distracted, of course.
Schmoz, yeah.
And then, it's advancing Braun and Roman. They just didn't shit on it and throw it out.
Ambulance match. Here's what I hate. Going back to the very opening segment. Roman comes out and just automatically, I'm the new number 1 contender. And I get it. I get why they did it, because from Roman's point of view, I'm the number 1 contender. Anybody who says otherwise, come up here and take that spot away from me, I'm the big dog. It's my yard. Guess what? It only got him fucking booed out the building.
Yep.
But anyway, Strowman comes, I'm not finished with you. And he's in the back, and Roman played it up really good, guys. I like his facial expressions. Again, his selling is good. His selling is now good. He sold it really well.
I loved how he sold the Kikina clutch.
Oh, yeah.
Like every appendage was flailing. Mm-hmm. That's how that would really go down. Joe grabs you and you're like, get that off me.
It's funny how Joe has been choking people out with that move for 8 months now, and now all of a sudden with every match, it's like, can he get it on? Can he get it on him?
Yeah, I know.
Anyway. So Joe gets the win. Braun comes out, I'm not finished with you, and gives him that half Nelson can opener, key lock, whatever you want to call it, super slam, and me and you in an ambulance match. Here's the kicker. They need to have Strowman come out again next week and go, not only do I want you in an ambulance match, but I want your number one contendership at SummerSlam on the line.
Right.
Which I think is going to happen. But then people are going to be like, well, if Strowman's been out for how long? How does he come back and automatically get a number one contenders match, but Finn Balor doesn't? I got my slide rule out again, and that's not the way it's working. It's the math isn't right. Give me a break. So we go to commercial after all this, and it was great. Good segment. Damn good match. Damn good match. So it's time for Miz TV, and his guest is Maurice, and they got these two bears there. And I got to be honest, that backstage segment with Axel and Dallas was so short and sweet, and it was a blur that you didn't even remember it. They fucking swerved a lot of you, including myself. So he comes out and says he's sorry, and you got one bear holding up a sign that says, please forgive me, or I'm sorry, and he rebuilt the grandfather clock. I stayed up all night in the garage watching YouTube videos on how to build a grandfather clock, and I rebuilt it for you. What would have been better is if they gimmicked up the clock to actually show cracks with, like, the wood glue.
Oh, that would be funny, yeah.
He's the Hollywood superstar, not a handyman, so how does he know how to fucking put a clock together just by watching YouTube? Come on.
Right. Even duct tape.
Duct tape, yeah.
You know?
So
that would have been funny.
I kind of forget what happened here. I didn't really see it.
Neither did I, so.
So they're about to kiss, but Ambrose's music plays. Maurice has champagne spilled on her, and Miz apologizes. I don't know how the champagne was spilled on her. I have to go back and rewatch this. But Miz apologizes for Maurice, and Maurice has none of it. Miz tries to attack Dean, and Miz misses and hits the clock, so the clock is broken again. Hickory dickory dock. Miz broke the clock. But Maurice then slaps Miz and leaves the ring. Dean kicks him and goes for a double underhook DDT, or Miz tries. Dean kicks Miz, tries for the double underhook. Miz escapes out of the ring, and Dean clotheslines Miz over the top rope. And then the Bears attack him. And I don't know if you saw it at the beginning of the show, but there's a great picture that somebody put out there. I'm going to reference this again.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's on the screen. But it's the Bears standing there looking all brooding. And just the thing of, looks like these three friends are having a really positive time.
Does she do that like on a regular basis? Because I think that would be a great daily or
Did you see
every
the
show.
Tweet that it came from?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who put out the tweet. I can't remember, but I snagged the picture and was like, I got to use this tonight. So whoever did this, kudos to you, ma'am. Joe's just such a sexist that I'm randomly putting over a woman on Twitter that I don't know.
Yeah, start taking a picture, Joe.
She'll probably block me before the end of the night. But anyway,
take a picture of something dumb that happens on Raw and just put it out there.
Yeah.
Hey, non-wrestling fans, caption this.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
It says, someone who doesn't watch wrestling, explain this. And whoever replied goes, looks like these three friends are having a really positive time. Teddy bear sleepover, but one guy forgot his costume. Hopefully he finds it. That's beautiful.
See, the sad truth of that, Joe, is that's probably what a non-wrestling
think.
fan would say.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, once the Bears attacked, I was like, oh, okay. Again, foreshadowing. It's a beautiful thing. And they did it so subtly that it's because it's Bo Dallas and Axel, and they know the way they've been treating them. They're like, the fans will never get this until it actually happens. And guess what? I didn't put 2 and 2 together until it actually happened. You got me, Vince. So, of course, it's Axel and Dallas in the bear outfits, and they destroyed fucking Ambrose. And it was a beautiful segment. I was entertained by it. I liked it.
Now, listen, if they're going to be the entourage, I want to see those guys being
suits.
the entourage.
Yeah, I want to see them like J&J Security, only for The Miz. I want to see them in suits. I want to see them clean cut maybe a little bit, Not that Dallas does not need to. Bo Dallas, I kind of looked at Bo Dallas tonight, and I'm just like, why don't they just put him with Bray Wyatt already with that beard? Because they look just like each other.
I know. He looks just like him.
You know,
Yep.
I mean, why can't we just start calling him Little Wyatt? You know, but this fits too because hey, we were all in the Marine 4 together. Remember that hunk of a junk movie? You can still buy it on WWE.com, but you know, anyway. So Kurt Angle's in the back and he's talking to Big Show, and then we have Sheamus and Cesaro versus Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews in a non-title match, and Sheamus and Cesaro win. I don't know what it is about Sheamus and Cesaro now, or this whole entire tag division already, but they were doing good leading into Mania and even out of Mania with the Hardys and everything, and now it's just like the bubble is deflated.
I think a lot of it has to do with the delete.
Yeah, which you didn't get it that much tonight. The delete's starting to
No.
fade out.
I think people were looking forward to that, and it would have, done wonders for the tag division.
I look
but
at it like this: if you don't get it before WrestleMania next year, you ain't getting it at all.
Before WrestleMania, yeah, that makes sense.
Bottom line is WWE just doesn't want to pay for the rights. They think that's below them.
Yep.
We got to create our own stars, man. We're not going to rely off something that somebody else did, let alone pay them for it.
Yeah, like Mike Kanellis.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have another premiere at the end of the show. So if AC does watch this, whether he goes to the end or the beginning, that trailer is getting played.
Oh, nice. So we got. Oh, I love it.
Book in the show.
White, you're putting it out there. I love it.
I am.
1650 distribution is.
That's right.
Beautiful.
That's what I said. The 1650 got to distribute. We're like Miramax, you know.
That's right.
They play a video package showing Joe how he earned this match with Lesnar. Now, to me, this should have aired before the match with Reigns, but anyway. Goddamn, they haven't. Oh, you know, maybe we should have just seen this next week and had another women's match here. I'll say it. Yeah, okay. Throw another women's match here instead of airing this. Air this next week.
Yeah, that's fine. They did enough with Joe.
They did way enough with Joe. This to me was too much.
Yep.
But it was good. And I'm sitting here going, AC's probably chuckling, going, look at them, just trying to do a UFC-style video package. Because that's what this was.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time they've done it with Lesnar.
Nah, that's kind of what they do with him.
Yeah. And it was good. It was a good package.
Mm-hmm.
Lesnar calling Joe a punk-ass bitch for just, no, you attacked Paul Heyman. No, that makes you big and bad. Well, no, it doesn't. You're a punk-ass bitch.
Yep, I love
liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yep.
And then we get Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. This report I'm reading on PW Insider for this match is 4 lines long.
Oh, read it. Go ahead.
It says, before the match, Alexa Bliss comes out to watch. We go to commercial. The match is joined in progress. So there's another thing. Oh, the slide rule came out and 2/3 of this match was commercials. So the match is joined in progress. Nia tosses Sasha across the ring. Sasha with kicks, and Nia runs into turnbuckle. Sasha with the Meteora, and both women are down, I think that's the double knees. That was actually a pretty damn good move.
Mm-hmm.
Next line. Emma comes out to the announce table, and Emma confronts Alexa. Alexa pushes Emma, and they run to the ring. Last line. Alexa hides behind Nia, and Nia gives Alexa to Emma. Emma kicks Nia, and the referee calls for the bell. That's the end of the match.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Joe, too. Going back to this women's conversation. If you're a wrestling fan that's bitching about time given to the women, why do you want to see, because all they do, whether it's a promo, like AC said last night, it's promo, music hits, promo, music hit. Like, so now it's match, run in, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Like, every time they do it, they have to get, all 8 girls on, or how many ever they have. And it's pointless.
You know why?
It's pointless.
You know why they do that? Because they know if they don't, the Twitter universe, the sensitive universe will go, why wasn't Nia Jax on the show? Why didn't we get an Alexa? Why didn't we get this? Why didn't we get this woman? Why didn't we get that woman? You put all the men on the show. Why not all the women?
Well, unfortunately, you know what would help some of that? If these women were actually used as valets or managers for certain guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maurice is one. That's it.
Hell, they were doing this whole thing with Alicia Fox on. They've been doing that with Alicia Fox and Noam Dar and fucking
Right.
Cedric Alexander on. Not that it means anything, but hell, they know she can't work.
Mm-hmm.
So they're putting her
Yep.
in a spot where her work day can shine a little. Come on.
Right.
This is what made me flip my shit, because here it is again at the end of that Joe match, literally that match went about 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So by the end of the whole segment, after they cut the commercial, after Strowman destroys people, there were literally people on Twitter going,
Mm-hmm.
"Damn 10 o'clock or 9:30, we ain't had the women out yet." There was literally people at before the women's segment at the end of the video package. God damn, pal, it's fucking 9 or 10:45. We ain't had the women yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, zippity fucking doodah, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. So then
And these same people that I just got to say this too, Joe, and then I got to get off it because this shit drives me nuts. The same people that will bitch about bra and panties match, they don't realize, like, concurrently while the bra and panties matches were going on, China was wrestling men and beating them.
Yeah. Or while Stacey and
so
Tori were wrestling in bra and panties match, Jazz, Lita, and Trish were main eventing WrestleMania.
Right.
In a 3-way at 19.
That was a good match too.
Yes.
Yep.
And then here's what kills me. You had this match, and I even brought this up. AC was like, well, why didn't they put the women's title or the women's Money in the Bank match between the two main events? Well, they proved my point tonight why they didn't do it. Why? Because it's there to do nothing but cool down the fucking crowd. The crowd.
I think that would have been too much. Too many. He wanted to put the women's Money in the Bank before the men's?
He wanted to put one of the women's matches in between the world title and the Money in the Bank match.
Oh, one of. Okay.
Yeah, I think he said the women's title match should have went along before the Money in the Bank match or before the WWE title match. You should have had them all 3 in a row. And my thing is that even if you did put that, okay, let's say Jinder and Randy go, women's Money in the Bank or women's title match, then Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Randy and Jinder was good. Crowd was good for it. If they would have put that women's match on, the Twitterverse, with the sensitive universe would have been like, oh, they're just putting the women on there to cool down the crowd because that's what they think the women are there for. Well, guess what? The women kind of were the buffer between between two big matches tonight, and that's what it came off as.
Right.
And if you want to technically go by wrestling standards, your women main evented tonight's show, wrestling-wise.
Oh, totally, yeah.
The last piece of real wrestling you saw in this match were the women.
Mm-hmm.
So take your slide rules, sensitive universe. Take your stopwatches and shove them up your little sensitive asses.
If it means that much to you, sensitives, watch Shimmer and watch Shine.
Thank you.
Go support an all-women's company.
Which I do.
Stop bitching.
Which I do. Your Shine champion, I think she's still Shine champion. Lufisto. I love me some Lufisto, man.
Yeah, she's good.
Awesome. Su Yung, another one. Awesome.
Su Yung. Ooh.
Su Yung. Anyway.
Su Yung.
Gato. Then the last segment, man. This right here. Some part of this makes me think that Joe and Roman should have gone on last. If I was timing this show out, I would have swapped this. I would have put this on at the beginning of the 10 o'clock hour and then capped the 10 o'clock hour off with, Joe and Roman with the Strowman thing. I would have went off the air with Strowman. Hey, Strowman's back. That's the way to make an impact. But anyway, it was
the
fun
first
like
thing,
this.
Joe, the first thing there quickly is I think they screwed themselves. And again, I'm not being a sexist, but I think they screwed themselves. And I guess we'll see when the hourly breakdown comes out. But when you have the women on at about 10 of 11, I don't think a lot of that audience expected them to run past 11:05. Therefore, I think a lot of people missed the last segment because they probably said, oh, I'm not going to watch this. It's going to end in a woman's schmoz. Goodbye. And probably turned it off.
They honestly, they didn't do a whole lot of big hyping for the last segment with Kurt and Colin, they maybe referenced it. Kurt's cracking the case maybe twice.
Yeah.
So they really didn't do a whole lot to say, hey, don't touch that dial because after this match, we're going to find out who cracked the, Kurt is going to come out and, crack the case for us. All will be exposed,
Right. Especially for people that are flipping back and forth to something else they're watching.
And
They could have missed it.
You mentioned the overrun. Frick.
That was long, yes.
Dude, not. I can remember when they had a match, and I believe it was like 2005 or 6. It was La Resistance versus somebody, and they went until freaking 11:30 to 11:45.
Oh yeah, they used to do this. They used to do this a lot.
That overrun used to be the thing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Even back in the Attitude era, 2000.
And the networks loved it too.
Yeah. USA loved it,
Yeah, because it led into whatever was coming out next.
That, and it cut in back when they used to do the Nitro replay at 11. It cut into the Nitro replay.
Right.
So, make your overrun kind of mean something.
See, but Joe, we're too old. We don't understand.
We're too old.
Yeah, we don't understand. Listen to us talking about back in my day.
We're fading into Jim Cornette territory here, pal.
Oh, I know, pal. Yes. Totally.
So this segment, again, we kind of talked about it. Corey Graves they bring the Big Show out, and Kurt Angle pretty much goes, "It's not Big Show. It's not the Revival. It was Colin Cassidy in the backstage area with the staging." It's like the old Clue game. Colonel Mustard in the library with a wrench.
Yes.
So it was Colin Cassidy backstage with nothing. Because he staged it, and they actually show him, that's the cleanest, crispest looking security footage I've ever seen. And so they show him in the back, and he's all looking around, and he gets his set all managed up, and he just starts laying down, grappling his head. And Corey Graves was just beautiful in this segment, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want more Corey Graves doing this type of shit. Just because the man can't wrestle, let him come out there and manage somebody. Let him come out there and be somebody's advocate, because Corey could cut a fucking promo.
Well, it goes back to what you said. If he's, like I said, if somebody's blackmailing Angle and it turns out to be him and he's the new GM, that'd be beautiful.
It's awesome.
But I do have a question about this Angle, Joe.
What's that?
And I did like it, and I like the fact that they told the story over the last month, and we'll get to the performances here in a second. But why is Corey Graves getting the access to the security cameras? You would think that if somebody saw that, they would ship it to Kurt Angle, the boss of the show.
Directly, yeah.
Right.
Kurt Angle should have been the one showing that. I think they're going Graves is the one giving Angle information with these texts, and I got the same text as you over Father's Day.
Graves is the leaker.
I honestly think that
he's the leaker.
The story behind this is that a lot of people think that this is going to lead to Stephanie McMahon coming back and firing Kurt Angle as the GM.
Yes.
And I would not be surprised if she replaces him with Corey Graves, and that Corey Graves ends up being a heel, and that he's Stephanie's stooge all along. I love it.
Why is Booker T out on commentary?
Booker T's out there on commentary because What's-His-Face is filming a movie.
Is What's-His-Face about to come back?
I forget
Otunga.
Otunga, thank you.
Yep, I couldn't think of his name either.
Otunga was done filming a movie now, but they're just waiting to bring him back because he's promoting the movie, apparently.
Maybe that's where they're going. Maybe they're going to move Graves off and have him and Booker T. Yep.
I could see that. The only problem with Otunga is he's just like that dude on
Saxton.
Well, Saxton was actually pretty damn good Sunday night, but Otunga speaks in sound bites. You could clearly tell he speaks in sound bites, and I hate it. I fucking hate it.
That's what I hate about a three-man booth.
I don't really see anything wrong with Booker, Graves, and Cole. It's actually pretty good, but Otunga, he speaks like this. What will happen when these two face off later tonight? It's the radio voice. It's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, those two guys get fed, I think, a lot.
It reminded me, you ever see American Chopper?
Mm-hmm.
The American Chopper. Every time they'd cut away and do like a face-to-face interview with them, it would flow the same way.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know
That's
exactly
what I hated about the show. It'd be like, I came back to see my dad sitting in the office chair, And I just think he's lazy. And then you'd have Mikey get up there and go, I wanted to see how this thing was done, so I did this. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same flow, and that's Otunga. It's the same flow every sentence, every
Yep.
word, every line. That's why I'm sitting there going, let him go off and do a fucking movie. I don't care. No one's going to watch your movie. No one's going to miss your announcing. Because you're
Yep.
not going to get any better when you speak in sound bites. But anyway, they brung him out, and the Big Show was eliminated as a suspect, and we got the footage of Colin, laying him out, and Colin got a damn good promo, man.
Awesome.
The only problem I have is I like the fact that Enzo cried, but you could totally see he was trying to muster up the tears. It
Oh yeah.
didn't come natural,
Right.
Which
But he pulled it
he
off.
pulled it
which
off.
we got to
It
give him
was
credit
good.
for.
It was good,
Yeah.
man. You saw a grown man cry
Yep.
in the middle of the ring, and it made sense. You
Yep.
felt for the guy, sympathy.
The guy looks up to him.
Goddamn, pal. You
It's
know,
his big brother, bro.
that's his big brother.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Corey, again, we praise on Corey, but Colin Cassidy, man,
Tremendous.
I think he's one of the few in that company that can look at a script, memorize it, and recite it word for word, but make it his own.
Yep.
Make it to where it doesn't sound written. It's not a machine-fed promo. Because that whole thing was totally scripted. But you know what? If I didn't know WWE was scripted and I was a casual fan, wouldn't be able to tell.
Yep.
The delivery was there. The acting was there. He raised his voice when he needed to raise his voice to get his points across.
Yep.
Came across a star is born. A heel is born.
Yep. He proved it tonight, man. One promo
And
proved
here
it.
I was worried that Colin Cassidy was not going to be good on the mic. That's been what everybody, not just me, everybody was saying. Colin Cassidy's going to be the star because Vince likes his giants and he's 7 foot tall. But the
And you can't teach that.
And you can't teach that. But the
Thank
promo,
God we'll never hear that again. Go ahead.
he said it at the end of the show. You didn't see that? He booted Big Cass and then leaned down and did the thing with the fingers. You can't teach that, and then walked off. I like the you can't teach that when it's used in a heel way. I think that's going to be his slogan. And as well it should be. It fits him,
Mhm.
I'm 7 foot tall. I can work circles around you, talk circles around you, and you can't teach it. NXT tried to teach it to me, but it comes natural that you can't teach that. That's where they need to go with him,
Why? The major thing that I that I pull out of this is seeing this story take its course over the last 4 weeks. They finished it. Star is born. The tag team is broken up. They told the story. It proves that they can do this. It proves that they could still do it.
Mm-hmm. It proves that once in a while, Vince could still pull one out of his ass.
Yes. So now what you need to do, Vince, for the next month is do that 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Pick 4 characters now and show me 2 storylines going on. Because if they can do this, Joe, it could save their rating and it makes me wonder. It makes me question. There's a rating slump going on. We keep talking about it. They're diving down, and then they pull this out of their ass. So what is the point of them not doing this? Why have we not seen this until now?
I can't answer that for you. Last week, I know they took a dive. They took a dive on purpose because of the NBA game and everything, and that was their excuse.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is that, okay, here's how it's going to go down. You're going to get the ratings for this week. And because the damage is already done, this week's not going to pop a number. It's going to be low, okay?
Right.
So what are they going to do? Well, goddamn, pal, what we did last week isn't working, so we're going to go back to the yuck booking we were doing before.
You're probably right about that. But again, he drives me nuts,
It
Joe.
takes more than 1 week. He never sticks to his guns. It's always flippity-floppity.
Yes. Exactly. And you know what? I'm going to say this too. One of my earliest memories is Ravishing Rick Rude teaching me what the word harlot meant.
Yeah.
On TV. Because he called Jake's wife Cheryl.
A harlot.
She's a harlot, like Cheryl Roberts. I
Mhm.
remember him saying that. Like, this stands out so much. I think maybe a kid like your son's age is going to see this and remember it.
I'll be honest with you. When
You know what I mean?
my feed is a minute behind because I watched the latter half of the show downstairs here, getting ready for this.
Okay.
So the shit's still in the ring. Cass and them are still in the ring. My son comes running down the stairs. Dad, did you see this? Look what's happening. My son was so into it, dude.
There you go.
They got him. But
Finally,
but
your
tomorrow,
kid Joe finally got something.
But tomorrow, well, my kid's smarter than I am with this shit. He knows what's coming before I do something.
No, not got. I mean, they gave the generation of kids something to remember.
And guess what? They did it in an adult way that kept the adults entertained too.
Yep.
PG
I'm starting to think that Vince didn't write this, to be honest.
I'm starting to think the whole show comes off that way, kind of.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
But here's what kills me. Next week, they're gonna get, or the Tuesday, they're gonna get the ratings, and they're gonna go, well, that didn't work. And I'm gonna go back to what Vince Russo says. Gonna give Vince Russo some credit.
Wow. Okay.
Gonna give him some credit.
Let me sit down for this.
Because when he got into WCW, he got together with them and put together a pie chart and graphs and made an entire presentation of this is how we got to a 3 rating. This is how we got to a 4. This is how we climbed up to kick your ass again. Rome was not built in a day.
Right. Yep.
And when Vince sees this rating tomorrow and the legions of fans who have left and aren't coming back until they, like you, Edwards, they left. They're not fucking really coming back until they start really doing something good.
Mm-hmm.
On a regular basis for months, for years, make it good. And until that happens, they're not going. Your ratings aren't going to improve until you get them back, until you prove to them.
Yep.
So what making the ratings rise is all about is consistency in your booking.
Yes.
Good
and
booking.
the sad fact of it, Joe,
it's not
it was
happen.
it was very simple. It was a simple story. How do we break up Enzo and Cass? Well, let's do this. Let's tell a story. Okay. That conversation was had. So now what? So the sad fact of it is, just like you're saying, consistency. Next week, we could be looking at this show going, what the hell just happened?
Mm-hmm.
After last week, what are you doing?
Because my thing is now, though, what do you do with the Colin Cassidy character? Clearly now he can't fight Enzo because it doesn't look fucking believable.
Right.
That's why he broke up with the little bastard,
Unless they completely, ragdoll him.
What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? He's going to go get Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Big Show's going to come to his rescue. And you have a feud between these two.
I'm fine with that.
Or these 3, have Enzo be Big Show's mouthpiece or whatever, and hell, even have Enzo take. I would totally like it, although they really couldn't do that because Big Show kind of walked out on both of them this week in this segment.
Well, yeah, he kind of said, "I'll go to a different show."
But you could have a thing in the back going, "Show, I'm sorry he did this to you. I'm sorry. I had your back. I liked you, filling in for me." But you could totally have them do a segment on Raw like they've done before where Big Show comes out and pretends to be Big Cass. And Big Cass is standing in the middle of the ring fucking fueled by it.
Right.
Downright disgusted by it. So it leads to a match with Big Show versus Colin Cassidy. Okay? And you don't call him Big Cass anymore. He's Colin Cassidy. It's a heel name, for crying out loud, to me.
I agree, but I don't think they're going to do it.
No,
I don't
think so either. I think he's Big Cass.
Yep.
But
pal.
Yeah. But you have the bottom line is Colin Cassidy has to go over on the Big Show. Every time. In their very first meeting, no 50-50 it. Do not 50-50 this.
Now, will they do a suplex and break the ring?
No.
Okay.
Don't need to.
Continue.
But they, if I was booking it, I wouldn't do it 50-50. I'd have it be a good competitive match, and in the end, Colin hits that fucking kick, that axe kick or whatever his damn move is, the plunge or whatever it's freaking called. I forget what his damn moves are called, but you totally have it to where Colin Cassidy goes over on the Big Show, and you keep having him come out and cut promo after promo after promo of, just like tonight, I never needed his ass. His ass was holding me back. Hell, have him beat, I hate to say this because Miz kind of needs the Intercontinental title to be over because that's his whole gimmick now. But he needs to win a title at some point. Big Cassidy needs to win a title,
Brock Lesnar.
Really?
If you're Vince, what do you think Vince is thinking? Braun Strowman or Big Cass to beat Brock Lesnar?
Neither one.
Roman Reigns.
It's
okay.
Roman Reigns at Mania, dude. I don't see him beating Joe. Joe's going to get squashed, but it may not be a total squash, but Lesnar's coming out of that match the winner. And they're still, unless they do Roman versus, Lesnar here, and then they carry it on again at the Rumble or Survivor Series, and then they have the big rubber match at Mania. It's going to either be a series or, remember what I was saying that the dirt sheets were reporting that last year at the end of WrestleMania, and they're still reporting it. Meltzer still says that next year's WrestleMania main event is Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar with Roman Reigns going over. They still won't think that's going to draw. They still think that's going to get heat. They still think that's the match everybody wants to see.
So I guess that means Roman wins the Royal Rumble.
Again. But as far as Big Cass goes, that's the problem I see here is where do you really go from here after he's done with Enzo Amore, because you can't have him fighting forever.
Yeah. You do Enzo, you do Big Show, and then that's the worry, Joe, because he can get the Ryback. Oh, what are we gonna do with Cass tonight? Oh, squash, pal. So you get the local job. I do not want to see that shit again. Local jobber.
If anything else, I would love to see Triple H hit the damn ring and go, "The hell is wrong with you?" And show the footage from that NXT special. They were both crying their eyes out because they were moving up to the main roster. And then you have Big Cass go, "Yeah, we got moved up to the main roster. But you didn't, my girlfriend is sitting down there on another brand having to fucking use a damn chinless monkey to get, to fucking get what she wants. We're not able to sleep in the same bed every night. We're not able to have dinner every night. Hell, the most we get is FaceTiming or Skyping. I came up to the main roster thinking I would finally shake that little flea, Enzo, and all of a sudden, no, I'm forced to be with him night after night after night." Something along those lines. Make it real, a little bit real,
Cass and H at Mania.
No, I'm not saying it needs to go that far, but
okay. I don't know, but that's the thing. You never know what they're going to do. There's a lot of ways
you could go with it, but I just don't. Again, like you say, I don't have the faith in them to make this guy $1 million star.
No, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve the faith right now.
Even though that's what Vince wants, because goddamn, pal, he's 7 foot tall. He's a giant.
Well, it's true.
And now I'm curious to see how their work is going to do. How's Enzo going to be? Enzo for Cruiserweight Champion, for crying out loud. Wouldn't mind seeing it. It's believable if you have Enzo on 205 Live. I'm not opposed to seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would make that show better.
Probably would.
Anything
he might actually be able to get the show over.
Yeah. Have him come
nothing else.
Have him coming out there and cut a promo against the tightest brand. Or hell, have even Enzo join the tightest brand. Have him be a fucking heel too out of this and going fucking cheering you fans, making you fans cheer, making you guys happy, did nothing but cost me a 4-year relationship with my best, what I thought was my best friend. You guys turned him against me.
Yeah.
It works. You have them both be heels,
Yep.
They can be former members of a team, break up, and still hate each other and both be heels. It can work. Anyway.
But we'll probably get a new tag team called Ends Show.
Oh, you just called it. You called it. That's it.
It just hit me.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna
that's
happen.
happening.
End show. ENSHOW. There it is.
Yep,
That's
there it is.
You better tweet that. You need to tweet that. Next week, debuting next week, the team of Big Show and Enzo Amore, a.k.a. Ends Show.
Could happen.
Speaking of end shows, that's the end of our show this week.
All right.
And we're going to transition here.
Sweet.
And we're going to play it.
Best part of the show,
Best
right
part
here.
of the show right here, exactly.
Nothing but love, AC. Nothing but love.
But I'm going to go ahead and transition over to this here. And, folks, I'm going to go ahead and mute the microphones here. I'm going to hang up on Edwards because I'm going to bed after this.
Good night.
Good night, Edwards. I'm going to go ahead and hang up on you now, actually.
All right.
See
Bye.
you later, man. Jeff Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, he actually hung up on me. And we're going to see you guys down the road. We'll see you this Wednesday night for the big CWF after show. And we hope you guys have a really good day tomorrow. And enjoy it again. The premiere of the newest Hollywood Truth video. We'll see you down the road.